Hi, my name's Mike, and I'm going to be reviewing Match.com today. Out of all the dating sites, I gotta say this one's probably the best. Plenty of Fish is like a step above Craigslist. I mean, it's really, I don't even know two people have ever met on that website. To me, it's a joke. I message a lot. Some, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but some, and I never got any responses. You know, they got this whole thing on there that was like, wants to meet you, and then you're like, okay, I'll message this person because they want to meet me, and then they don't reply. So it doesn't sound to me, not that that's probably the wrong thing to say. It's just a terrible site. It's terrible. There's a lot of users, don't get me wrong, but it's just a big bullshit fest. It's like something to pass the time. Oh, let's look at who's single out there in the world. Oh, okay. eHarmony, I tried that. It's pretty bad. I didn't find it good. It's very expensive. There's a lot of questionnaire, and there's not a lot of people on there. So, like when I was on, they kept wanting to say, oh, this person's in Canada. This person in Canada is a good match for you. That's great. The only problem is I live in America, so that might be a little bit of an issue. And believe me, I'm not going up to Canada to meet nobody. I may go up to Canada for some French fries and gravy, but I ain't going up there to meet anybody, especially somebody I'm probably not even gonna like. But back to Match.com. Oh, OkCupid. I tried that one too. No such luck. It's a free site. These free sites suck. You stay away from the free sites. It's just a big piss and match there. I would go to Match.com. I think this is actually the best one. For one, it's relatively low in price. There's a lot of people on there, and it's worked for me. I've been on for, I would say, a little less than a year, I've had I guess I would have pretty good success. I mean, I met 7 or 8 people. I liked them all. But brings me to my first point is that a lot of stuff I see on the internet is that guys get pissed off that they don't get any responses. So I would say just keep on messaging. It's just a numbers game. I got to do it. I view myself as a pretty good looking guy. I message a lot of people. You know, if you get 2 out of 50 to reply to you, you're actually doing pretty good, in all honesty. Keep messaging me. Now, if you really like somebody in there, I would message them again. Be a little persistent. Sometimes that works. Because I think a lot of these women think that guys just message them all, which you should probably do because the response rate's so low. That if you give another message, you say, listen, you really caught my eye. You actually caught both eyes. That's a good line he is. I just made that up. It might work. It's worked for me. I said I told one person I'm persistent and I'm not going to stop bothering you until you reply to me, and it worked. So you never know. I mean, obviously, don't get into a harassment mode. That'd be bad. But back to the point. Is that what cracks me up is that a lot of these women's profiles, they're all the same. They all sound so the same. So it's like, how are you supposed to even, how do they expect you to even think you have something in common if they're all the same? I mean, the typical profile goes something like this. I've been blessed with good family and friends. They're dearest to my heart. The last book I read was 50 Shades of Grey. I like going out sometimes. Sometimes I like staying in. I like music and I like having fun. Must have fun if you want to be my boyfriend, or whatever, right? And so it doesn't even say what their idea of fun is. Like my idea of fun could be going out and milking a cow. Your idea of fun could be hiking, which I hate hiking. So you know, hiking doesn't even sound fun to me. And a lot of people hike on there. This is something I realized because I've never really been hiking since I was like 12 years old, just going into the woods with a couple friends. Apparently, hiking is a big thing nowadays. Sparks no interest on my end. So I tell people right off the bat, listen, I don't do the hiking thing, so don't expect me to go hiking. All right? I actually got into an argument with a girl because actually her first thing she said to me was hey, have any horror stories on here yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. Maybe you'll be my first. He. And she she liked it. We kept talking, and I'm like, what's with the hiking thing? Because she was all about this hiking stuff. And I said, you don't really go hiking that much, do you? And she like took offense to it, like I was attacking her. So, and I didn't really say it in a mean manner or something. So I'm like, listen, you don't really go hiking this much, do you? And she's like, yes, my parents own 40 acres of land, and I go hiking every day. Every day I go hiking. Really, every day. I said, so me being a wise ass in investigation mode at this point, says, what do you do? I said, what do you do in the wintertime? She's like, I got special snowshoes for hiking. And I'm like, I said, this chick's whack. And anyway, we ended up getting an argument over the whole thing. So, anyway, so it goes back to my point. My point is that these profiles are so generic. Even if you find a profile that stands out and it says, hey, someone that sounds halfway intelligent, and you believe that this person could be a good person to hang out with, even if you message them and you bring up something in your profile, you're still not going to get a reply. It's just a numbers game. Just keep messaging you. You're going to be judged upon your looks, which brings me to my next point. My next point would be, leave your profile as skimpy as possible. Don't reveal too much of yourself. This is what I noticed. Alright, I noticed that when I have my profile, it doesn't say too much. It just says, listen, I like to, just like a woman's profile, I like to go out and have a good time. Just generic. Just make things generic, and you'll get a lot more responses. You get into too much stuff like what you do, what you don't like to do, your pet peeves, all this other stuff. It's giving away way too much information. So you do that, and the women don't like that. They like mysteries. You got to keep it a mystery. Your life is a mystery, and keep a smile on your face. And if you keep a smile on your face, I think it should work. Especially, brings me to the next point, is your profile pictures. Always have yourself smiling. Okay, it's just like going on a date. Smile a lot. Be charming. Just think of it as you have a little secret that nobody else knows of, and that, because then you're gonna want to know that happy little secret. So no chick wants to go out with some guy that has nothing to say, that's boring, that's monotone. Unfortunately, if you're that way in personality, you're gonna have to get your ass off your seat and fake it. Okay, fake that charm, put on a smile, and do all them good things. So my advice would be, don't have these pictures of you at the gym lifting weights with this grudge on your face. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see. I don't think they want to see that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those guys have better luck than I do. I seem to be doing all right. Not recently, but over the past, I've seemed to be doing all right. But like I said, it goes back to the numbers game. You just got to message and 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 more messages. So, and the other, my advice too is stay away from the best looking women on there, because you're not gonna have a chance. No matter who you are, Brad Pitt could be on there. He ain't got nothing that's gonna sweep this woman off her feet. The other thing too is I notice a lot of women's profiles, they say honesty, I want an honest man, I don't want to play games, but then they can't handle the truth. So, which brings me to the next point. I'm honest with them. I say, listen, I don't want a relationship. I just want to hang out, have a good time. That doesn't mean sex. I'm not talking about sex. Yes, it does get to that point, but I'm saying is, two people can enjoy each other's company and have fun without it turning into we're getting married and having children, which is, I don't know, I just got a bad point of view on all that. I had a kid with somebody. I was in a relationship for like 6 years. Thank God I never got married, because even if you get married, what's screwy about the whole system is that you get married, woman goes psychotic, she starts sleeping with another man, and then she takes away half your shit. I'm sorry, but there's no incentive for men to get married anymore. I'd stay away from doing it. Most women, from my point of view, what I think, I'm not true, I don't know because I'm not a woman, but I just think they want their day. They just want that day. That's theirs. Has nothing to do with being together the rest of your lives. Like I said, it could be wrong, but just judging from people I've seen in the past, just get up and get married. It's shit, and then they get divorced. You know, at least I was smart enough. And you know what? I still got all my shit. So, oh, thank God I didn't take that route. But so I don't even know where I was going with all that. Message women, blah blah blah. Message them, message them, message them. Keep your profile skimpy. Smile on your photos. Like I said, don't give away too many in your photos. Obviously, don't have any photos of you and other women. If you do, cut their heads off. The other thing too is what I was getting to is women are very deceitful on there. Just I guess kind of like maybe guys might be. I don't know. I try not to be deceitful, but you know, when you have these profiles, and they give away this information, you start to get in your head what this woman might be like. Like, here's a prime example, right? How women lie. Hey, I go to the gym. I go to the gym regular. I go to the gym 3 days a week. That's what they say on there. And then they all say that. A lot of them say that, I should say. Then you meet them, like I have in the past year. You meet them, and you say, hey, did you go to the gym today? Oh, I haven't been in the gym in months. I plan on starting to go again. So basically, they don't go to the gym. They used to go to the gym. Well, everybody used to go to the gym at some point in their lives, I'm assuming. I mean, everybody wants that whole thing that they got going, you know. Everybody goes through a phase at some point. Nobody really... There's not a lot of people that stick it out for the rest of their lives, let's be honest with ourselves. So, but back to the men. I know I jump all over the place, but back to the male thing. Don't get discouraged when nobody messages you back. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Even on Match.com, somebody will like at me, wink me, do all this stuff, and then you message them, you don't get a response. Well, it's like, why did you even bother making the initial? It makes no sense to me, because like, how do you, like, what I don't understand is, hey, I like you, I like your pictures and all this other stuff. And then me saying, hi, how are you doing? Like, that's an easy... How could you discourage somebody by saying something so generic like, hi, how are you doing? How are you going to say, oh, that guy's a douchebag? He asked me how I was doing. It wasn't like, yeah, I don't understand it. It's like, how is a sentence like that so discouraging that they don't reply, but they make the initial contact? It makes no sense to me. No sense to me. Also, I would say stay away from those women that's got 2 dogs and dresses them up and stuff like that. Stay away from that woman. You don't want to see that woman. So, I mean, I get these things. They see I have a dog because it says on my profile I have a dog, and then they get these messages. Oh, you have a dog. Oh, I have a dog. We went out for Dairy Queen this weekend. Stay away from that shit. Okay, you don't want that. That's compensating for not having a child. And they're treating the dog like a child when they shouldn't be treated like a fucking child. That is the end of the conversation from my standpoint. What else do women say on there? Kids are number one. Kids are my number one thing. Don't mess with my kids. Well, that's a given. They should be your number one thing. It's an odd thing. If all honesty, it should be like, you should put in your profile, my kids are not the thing in my life, because that's a significant difference than any other woman out there, okay? Everybody knows your kids are important. Personally, I like dating girls with children because I have my child 5 days a week, so I know what it's like, okay? I can relate to the single mom, okay? We actually have a lot in common that way. It's actually the single woman I don't have a lot in common with. So, so I don't know. That's kind of your choice. I would personally say if you have a child or children, stick with people that have children. If you don't, I don't know, it's just a matter of taste. Unless you're a man, you want to start a new family, you're not a parent to your old kids, I don't know. I don't know. Chances are you're probably not going to be a parent to your next children. So, whatever it takes. Like I said, I've had good luck on there. Actually, everybody I've met on there has actually been pretty cool. Other than the people that gave me the wrong idea of who they were, who they were prior to meeting. I had this whole idea in my head, and I meet them, and they're like somebody completely different. It might be my fault, might be their fault. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I forgot my next point. Just talk so much, I lose track of what I was saying. So women are just as deceitful as men are on there. So just be careful of that, especially I hate to say it, but especially with looks and stuff like that. They'll put like I'm slender, and then you meet them and they're not. I don't know what their definition of slender is. So just be aware of the upper body shots. All right, make sure you get a full picture. Oh, the other advice I would give to you too: if you can get a woman to reply to you 3 times, it's that point to ask them for their number. Because once you get their number, you're pretty much locked in, and try to have actual conversation on the phone, not just this texting bullshit. All right, whether it's fast, slow, or whatever. You know, there's some girls I could tell, all women, I could tell within the first 2 minutes whether they're cool or not. So seriously, the first 2 minutes on the phone, I could tell whether it's cool, it's good vibes or not. I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, so. And I have a lot of opinions on stuff, and unfortunately, you know, it's like I said, it's the man's job to carry the conversation and whatnot. So it's just something you're gonna have to do, and then after that, once your lives get more involved, then there's always something to talk about. But there always is something to talk about, just in life in general. I mean, especially with somebody new. There's so many. That's why I like dating, because it's always new experience. I'm an Aquarius, so I like new experiences. All right, every girl's a challenge and a fresh new experience that I could endure. And like I said, it's not talking about sex. It's not talking about sex. Okay, don't get me wrong. I do get laid, but it's not about that. So, what else can I say? I don't know. The main point I was trying to get to is that, like, I'm a good-looking guy. At least I assume I am. I feel like I'm a good-looking guy. I don't know, but we still have problems getting messages back. So it's not just a normal guy. It's also the successful guys. You know, my profile's filled out where it's like you think I'm the cat's ass. Okay, so but it happens to us too. It's just a numbers game, and you just got to keep messaging along. So I would totally advertise Match.com, though. To be honest with you, I'd roll with it. I'd say it's a good website. It's the best, because there's no other websites I think out there that would give somebody like me 8 or 9 women meeting up with me in the past less than a year. So I've been separated less than a year. So especially if you're getting off of like a divorce or something like that, there's going to be somebody on there that you can meet, at least be an icebreaker to the dating world again. That's what it actually worked out perfectly, because the first girl I met she was actually really beautiful, but she just came from a wealthy family. It just didn't work out. So, but we set the first night. We ended up drinking. So, like I said before, I don't know if I said this, but I would steer away from drinking on your first date. I think that sets a bad precedence, because you start talking about things. I think my review is pretty well established, and my advice is out there for what's worked for me. If you want to respond, if you have any advice, I would say respond on the comment section, or message me or something. Maybe I could use your advice just as much as you could use mine. I think us men need to stick together on this, all right, and start a war dating machine. Other than that, I think this whole thing's good. So, Match.com. Get it, buddy.